though it is not widely cultivated in Ghana, passion fruit grows very well here. It takes approximately 6 to 7 months from planting to harvesting, depending on the variety. The plant has a lifespan of 3 years, depending on your virus attack or the quality of your soil. This week on The Ghanaian Farmer, we're all the way in the eastern region, precisely in Asamankesi, to tell the story of the biggest passion fruit farm here in Ghana. They are into the production of the fruit and the processing of it into many other different things. My name is Zenyonam. Get interactive on our social media platform, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube, The Ghanaian Farmer. Wherever you're watching us from, let's hear from you. I'm going for a quick breather, and when I come back, Mr. Bernard, who works here in this passion fruit farm, will be telling me all that you need to know about passion fruit farming. Everything from the variety to the maturity to harvesting to viruses that attacks it, any other information that is relevant to your cultivation or to your way of becoming a passion fruit farmer is what I'll be sharing with you. I'm going for a quick breather. When I come back, we'll get talking about passion fruit farming right here on The Ghanaian Farmer. Thanks for staying. If you just tune in, you're watching The Ghanaian Farmer. My name is Enyonam, and this week we tell you the story of SONO Farms. They are the biggest producers of passion fruit so far in the eastern region, precisely Asamankesi, on the Asamankesi stretch. There's a name for the community, but I'm sure the farm manager, Bernard Sando Bali, right?
Good.
Yes. Thank you very much for having us in your farm.
You're welcome.
And we are grateful for the warm reception you've given us so far. So today, we are going to enlighten the general public about passion fruit farming in Ghana.
Okay.
So if this is the first time I'm hearing the word passion fruit, what kind of fruit is passion fruit?
Thank you very much, the Ghanaian Farmer.
Yes.
We are very much excited to have you on our farm. You are again welcome to SONO Industrial Ghana Limited.
Thank you very much.
The biggest farmer of passion fruit in Ghana.
Okay.
Well, the passion fruit is a round, ovoid fruit with a gelatinous content, okay, that we call the pulp,
Okay.
which is the main reason why the fruit is grown in the first place.
Okay.
It's used in many applications, mainly because of its very nice aroma. For instance, it's used in ice creams. It's used in preparing drinks, which gives a very beautiful taste and a very nice aroma to those drinks. So in short, that is what we call a passion fruit.
Okay. Is passion fruit a Ghanaian typical fruit or is exotic fruit?
Yes, so the passion fruit is not native to Ghana.
Okay.
The origin is from South America,
Okay.
but in Africa, we have succeeded in domesticating the crop and is extensively farmed in the southern part of Africa.
Okay.
South Africa, Kenya, and the countries in the south do very well in passion farming.
Okay.
Recently, we have adopted the farm, the plant to farm in Ghana because our ecological zone and our location has the climatic requirements
to produce
produce the passion plant.
Okay. What kind of land or soil is recommended for growing or farming passion?
So passion does very well in sandy, loamy soils.
Okay.
You will not do well in light soils, mainly sandy soils, and it's also not. It doesn't do well in clay soils.
Oh.
So sandy, loamy soils, well worked, will support passion growth. Light soils, sandy soils will not do well.
Okay.
Clay soils as well, very heavy soils will not do well.
Okay. Okay. Now, when I have my land, do you advise I lease for a long term or I buy?
So it depends on the purpose for which you are looking at, the purpose for which you are doing the farm.
Okay.
If it's on a commercial
Scale.
my best advice would be for you to lease a land for the long term.
Okay.
That will allow you time to be able to cultivate and for the purposes of value for money, be able to recoup the investment in the land.
Okay.
If it is for domestic purposes or a small farm for personal purposes. For instance, you are a fan of gardening. You can do this at your backyard
Okay.
or get a piece of land that probably on a sharecropping basis to carry on.
Okay. Now, when you have your land finally, tell me the basic land preparation that goes through to get the land ready for cultivation.
Okay, so the normal rudiments
Okay.
in any agricultural operation
Exactly.
applies. So first and foremost, you need to remove the vegetation on the land. Depends on what has colonized the land. If it's panicum grasses, if it's chromolina or shrubby trees, you would need to slash that down. Secondly, you would need to turn the soil down, do some harrowing to turn the soil and mix them up.
Okay.
For commercial purposes, you
Right.
also need to do some ripping.
Okay.
That is going deep in the soil
Right.
with the ripper.
Okay.
There are a lot of advantages to that. What
Okay.
happens is that you open up soil clumps and loosen them up. You are also allowing for maximum water holding capacity of the soil for the plants, and you are also breaking the soil up to allow the roots to be able to go deep into the
Penetrate.
soil
Okay.
and get access to the nutrition that it requires to optimally grow.
Okay.
So this applies.
Right.
For commercial farming again, you will need to do your ridges, raise the soil in order to allow the roots to have enough space
Okay.
in order to play around
Okay.
the soil.
Thank you for mentioning, because I was about to ask, I see ridges in potato farms. So why do we have ridges in a passion farm? But thanks for explaining that. Now, passion, is it planted by vines or seedling? And the seedling, is it nursery or direct seedling?
Okay, so that's a very smart question, I must say. So you can plant the seed directly
Okay.
in the ground,
Okay.
except that there are delays and
Okay.
you may not have some of the seeds sprouting.
Okay.
Okay, so the best way to plant passion on a commercial for commercial purpose is to raise seedlings first in the nursery, and then you transplant when they are mature into the field. It gives them an advantage and a good start in the main field.
Okay. How long does the seedling takes in the nursery before bringing it to the main field for planting?
Okay, so this is how you make seedlings. We normally make cuttings of healthy, very prolific plants in the field that have been identified to have very good traits. These are raised in the greenhouse. We call them the mother plants,
Okay.
because they have the greatest potential. So we make cuttings of between 10 to 12 centimeters,
Okay.
these cartons must have at least one node where you encourage rooting, okay, and then you also encourage shoot development, okay. So these cartons are you cut you make the cartons of the shoots, you pot them in the nursery when you have prepared your medium already in the crates. Okay, so you plant them directly. There are other practices, we can go into it, but
Okay.
I'll wait. So you plant these vines, and then between 2 to 3 weeks,
Okay.
you see roots development in the medium,
Okay.
and then the shoots, the shoots will also start shooting the eyes.
Okay.
Okay, so that is how, and then normal nursery rudiments,
Okay.
okay, or practices also happens there in the nursery to raise this seedlings.
Okay. So you mean after 3 weeks? Okay.
Okay. You can ask the question.
I want to know, is it, you said 2 to 3 weeks, so is it the 3rd week that I can now move them to the field, or it goes beyond 3 weeks?
Okay, so the 3 weeks I mentioned refers to when you see root initiation
Okay.
and shoot initiation.
Okay.
The seedlings must stay in the nursery between 3 to 4 months,
Okay.
by which
that
time
long?
they will be ready to come to the field.
Okay. All right. What time of the day do I transport my seedling from the nursery to the field? What time of the day? And also ahead of that day, do I need some special preparation done, watering the land or anything before I come for my planting?
Yes, for optimum results,
Yes.
you must always water the main field
Okay.
where you are going to do
The planting.
the planting,
Okay.
in order to get the soil moist enough to receive the seedling,
Okay.
so you don't introduce shocks once it's in the ground. Secondly, before you bring the seedlings out of the nursery, there are some practices that you need to observe. Firstly, you need to water the seedlings to get them to wet. Secondly, the pots have openings under, and so
Okay.
at that age, you will have some of the roots touching the ground.
Yeah.
We have what we call rocking,
Okay.
where you basically lift the pots in order to get those roots that have come out to condition before you move them out the following day. Before you bring the seedlings to the field, you should have introduced them to the natural environment,
Sunlight.
which we call hardening.
Okay.
It should have happened, preceded the transporting them into
Okay.
the field. So
Okay.
these things should have happened
Yes.
in the nursery
Okay.
before. Best time to bring seedlings
To the
the
field.
main field is very early in the morning,
Okay.
or late in the evening when the sun is going up, is going down.
Okay.
The reason being that the seedling is at that stage still very susceptible to harsh environmental conditions, especially the heat. And so best time is to do it when the sun is down.
Okay. Now I realize that on the field, the plants have distances in between them. What is the required distance in between the plants? And how deep should I dig the hole?
So the method that we have adopted here on the SONO farm is our trellises and canopy structure. Okay, we want to ensure that the structure is robust enough to be able to hold the fruits that will be produced, because it's quite heavy when you have maximum production. Okay, so the structure, the poles that hold the structure are placed at 6-meter intervals. Okay, on the line, and then they are separated 3 meters apart.
Okay.
Okay, so this is how we and then The structure is held with wires on top, so it will allow us to be able to do our twining to maximize the space, which we call the canopy, to train the vine to also be on the canopy.
Okay. All right.
As you can see here above.
I can see that. We are still having a conversation here at SONO
Ghana
Limited, the biggest commercial passion farmer here in the eastern region and in Ghana. I haven't been to any other place yet. So this is the biggest I've seen so far. My name is Enyonam and you're still watching the Ghanaian Farmer. I'm going for a quick breather. When I come back, we'll talk about when I bring the seedling from the nursery to plant. How long am I expecting it to take before I see flowering and then the passion coming on? I'm actually enjoying one though. I know you would love to taste it, but you know what? Let me go for this break. I'm using passion as my water today. I'll be right back after this. Stay tuned. Thanks for staying. If you're just tuning in, you're watching The Ghanaian Farmer. My name is Enyonam and we are still having a conversation enlightening you about passion farming here in Ghana. Now, Bernard, is passion a water-loving plant or it can be done with the limited rainfall we have?
A nice question as usual. Passion generally is a water-loving plant.
Okay.
You need a rainfall regime of between 900 mm to 2000 mm if you want to succeed with passion. The narrower you can get with the water supply, the better your chances of getting better yields and succeeding with passion farming.
Okay.
Passion needs, depending on whether you are doing yellow passion or the purple passion, you need between 4 to 6 liters of water per plant per day.
Okay.
With some varieties of the purple passion, you even need more, up to about 8 liters in a day per plant to get optimum yield and production
from the field,
from the plant.
Okay.
So that is the water requirements.
So it's best advised that if you're doing on a commercial scale, you should have irrigation installed on the field.
Very well said.
Okay.
If you want to go commercial, you need to have a very good irrigation regime.
Okay.
To supply adequate, timely water to the fields.
Okay. Now, when we finally do our transplanting and the seedlings have been planted finally, how long does it take to start bearing flowers? Before, after flowers, I'll start seeing my small passion shooting.
Okay, so I will tell you generally what it is, and then I will come to what we are doing here. Yeah, so generally, when you put a passion seedling in the ground, it takes between 7 to 9 months to realize fruits. Okay. And so you need to have patience and train, raise the plant up to that point.
Okay.
Yes. So what we are doing here is enhanced.
Okay.
And so as early as 6 months to 7 months, you start realizing fruits.
Okay. That is the variety you have here.
Yes.
And this variety is which one?
This is the purple passion.
Purple passion. Okay. All right. So my next question would be, what are some of the good agronomy practices that a farmer is supposed to adhere to ensure that the plants are breathing well, they have the space to grow and everything that is needed? What are the usual agronomy practices you do on your field?
Okay, so I'll start from the basics.
Okay.
First price is your weed control.
Okay.
You must ensure that your fields are very clean of weeds, especially also around the passion vine. We all know it's a vine and not a tree
Okay.
or a shrub, and so it is not woody. It's a vine, and so you need to ensure that the area around the vine is always clean of any weeds.
Okay.
We know the detriment of weeds, a lot of competition, it harbors pests, disease inoculum can also stay in there, and so their presence is really a nuisance.
Okay.
You also get to maximize the fertilizer that you put there for the plants to use if the weeds are not there. Again, watering is very, very, very primary. Like I told you before, passion is water loving, and so you need to supply adequate water
Okay.
to the plant. So watering is very, very important. Now, fertilizer application. The vine, because of how prolific it is, giving side shoots every now and then pruning, you will need to be able to supply nutrients to keep on vegetative growth and as well initiate and keep production. So our normal macro nutrients we need to apply. You need to have a checking regime, okay, also to know what nutrients are lacking and all that. We can discuss that if you want to go into it, but fertilization is very, very important. Let me come to pruning and training.
Okay.
This is very, very, very essential in farming passion, especially if you want to adopt the trellising regime that we have in our farm.
You mean this style?
This style
Okay.
of growing passion. You need to have your hands on the vines
Okay.
to ensure you are removing side shoots. Why should you do that? You need to be able to have the plant neatly following the twine.
Okay.
You need to be able to maximize fertilizer use by the plants to give you optimum vegetative growth and also initiate vegetative growth. So when you remove the side shoots, what you're actually doing is that you are keeping the fertilizer for utilization where
It's
you
supposed
have
to be
targeted.
Okay.
Okay, so pruning is very important. And then when you have pruned, because it's a vine, you will need to train the vine which path to tread and which twine to use
Okay.
in order to achieve what we are seeing.
Okay.
So these are the major
Agronomic
interventions
practices.
and agronomic practices that happens in the passion farm.
You mentioned water. Let me just briefly ask that before we proceed. How often, especially when I plant the seedling and it's growing, how many times in a day or in a week do I open my irrigation taps to work for how many hours? I shut it down the next day, or I mean the intervals and hours.
Okay, so if I want to be very technical, watering, you need to consider a lot of factors.
Okay.
Major thing you need to look at is the temperature
Okay.
of the day,
Right.
or of the time.
Okay.
And temperature, we all know, also affects evapotranspiration.
Yes.
That is uptake of water from the surface of the soil and the plants. Okay, so as much as possible, you should avoid watering when the sun is up
High.
high and
Okay.
it's very warm. Anything beyond 27 to 30 degrees is not ideal
For you
watering.
to water.
Okay, so mainly you do it early morning to late morning,
Okay.
and then you run again late afternoon to
evening.
Early evening.
Okay.
That is the best time
for watering.
to apply water on the
Okay.
plants.
Is passion a capital intensive kind of farming?
Yes, you need to have some capital to start
Right.
with if you
Okay.
want to do it the way you are seeing it here.
But is it profitable?
It is very profitable because this is I will call it's a specialty plant, okay, and so the malls will easily sell this for you, and there are people who there are a lot of supermarkets who are ready to take and sell.
Okay.
Very profitable.
Whoa! Oh my goodness! And you know me, I can go on and on and on, but my director, they say well, Rasta, so you know they respect, but it's okay. But look, you are doing an amazing work here. In fact, when I went to the other field, I was like, hey, Toto, today they over us. So then you brought us to phase 1, or I don't know, you have your phases. My goodness, you're doing an amazing job here.
Thank you.
I mean, SONO, you've created jobs, you're contributing to the development of the economy, and you're doing great stuff. Congratulations to you and your management. You're doing pretty well. Now, what will be your final message to anybody after watching this? Either want to do business or want to go into this area of farming. A quick advice to that person, how we can find SONO on social media or anything.
Okay, so this is a very passionate appeal to people who have land that is available for farming passion. Kindly contact SONO management so we can look at ways of partnering and opening up and increasing the size of passion farm that we have presently in Esamankese, and also create jobs in the locations where you have those lands. So we are open to this. And I want to encourage homeowners. I want to encourage people who have lands available that they are not using presently. Consider going into passion farming, even if it's as a hobby, to enjoy at home. I'm sure you will also be able to do some sales to supermarkets in your area.
Passion is very nice, honestly. It smells very nice as well. My name is Anyonam. I believe this has been eye-opening for you and for myself, because for a very long time, we've been yearning and praying to go to a passion fruit farm. And hey, here we are. Look, a lot of exotic plants are doing well in Ghana. Don't be deceived. Just make your research. Approach the right people and they will guide you to produce. And I'm very happy SONO is here to partner landowners. If you have land, those of you who are all about, you know what to do tomato, Jene, please consider passion. But before then, make sure you visit SONO to find out more about any technical advice, especially if you want to trade with them. You need to get their expertise to guide you. Thank you very much for watching. Let's hear from you. Wherever you're watching us across the world, drop your message and let's hear from you. Thank you very much. I'll see you some other time. But there is more interviews to come from this farm. Yes, stay tuned. Bye.